Hi everyone, it's Itzik here for another Q&A video. And this week's question is from James. Thank you, James, for your question. And I also encourage you, if you have any other question, and if you want to ask me any question and to be featured like this, leave a comment right below this video and I'll ask your question and I'll answer it. And James' question is, I'm trying to connect and follow up with people that are too busy to see me, but without much success. Any tips? So James, wonderful and very important question to many of our viewers and listeners. Now, so first, thank you very much, James, for your question. But how do you connect with people that are too busy to see you? Did it happen to you that you want to meet somebody, but whatever you did, you could not get hold of her? I remember once somebody recommended me in this sort of situation to try to ask the other person, can I have a coffee with you to pick your brain? Really? Do you really think this works? Assuming the other person has a very busy schedule, this is probably the worst possible way to get a meeting with her. Busy people can be incredibly difficult to connect with. You know the drill. You send an email, then you wait, and wait, and wait some more. You get no reply, so you try again. More of the same. Eventually, you give up. Getting a meeting with super busy people isn't impossible if you do it right. So let me suggest for you a better approach. If you, like most professionals, you struggle with trying to figure out how to go about making that contact, how can you get the person's attention? What should you say and how should you say it? Where do you even start? Should you follow up with they ignore you? And new means of communication in the form of social media, Skype, text messaging, WhatsApp, and blog, commenting has made this issue even more confusing and challenging. Through my career, I've tested just about every different approach for connecting and contacting busy people. As you can imagine, and as being a well-known connector, sometimes I get several hundred emails a day, and a good number of them trying to schedule a meeting with me by offering me a coffee, a lunch, and other ideas how to pick up my brain. I must admit, not every email gets my attention, and some of them I do not even bother to answer. Even if the person who approached me had the best of intentions and think his request or her request is relatively minor one, don't expect an answer. By definition, busy people cannot possibly respond to every inquiry. They're not being rude, they're just prioritizing. If they didn't, they wouldn't be as successful as they are. In the last couple of years, I discovered and realized that most professionals don't know how to get meeting with people too busy to see you. So I've come up with my method to sort out who I will meet and who not. We all know that opportunity must be grabbed in order to succeed. And that means trial and error, which means meetings. So the good news is that also busy people need to set up meetings to grow their business and find interesting new opportunities. So getting a meeting with them isn't impossible if you do it right. So here's a list of proven strategies to schedule a meeting with busy people. Strategy number 1, be referred by someone they know. You should do your best efforts in advance, before approaching the person you want to meet. And you should research who is in your current network knows her and can refer you to her. You should look for someone that you already take seriously. And in other words, find out who you both have in common and ask, will you introduce me? Remember, mentioning it to the referral source in advance and ask for this permission or his or her permission would help a lot in the connection to the other person. And please refrain from using name drop and definitely do not make it up. Strategy number 2, be specific and considerate. You should be very specific while connecting to others, and definitely to very busy people. You should refrain from using an open-ended time frame request. Your request should be as much as possible very specific for a specific purpose, in a specific time frame, and in a specific location. So the more considerate or considerable you are, the more chance the other person will be willing to meet you. Now, once you got to meet the person, continue to be considerable for their time and leave before they have to kick you out and within the allotted time frame. Strategy number 3, be short and brief. The shorter the message, the more likely you will get a reply. And the busier the person, the more important it is that you not waste their time. The recipient should be able to quick tell why they should benefit from opening your message, how they know you, or ideally both. For example, a subject line like speaking opportunity to promote your new service is a much better subject line than can you help me? You see? By clearly stating what it is you want, and more importantly, how it will benefit the other person, you are much more likely to get your email opened. Keep the main body of your email as succinct as you can as well. Aim to make your pitch in 5 sentences or less. Thus you show respect of the busy person time. Strategy number 4, be interesting and interested. Did you ever thought about the subject of your email for requesting a meeting, or you use just a normal subject? For example, request for a meeting. What exactly did you said in the telephone conversation with that person or with that personal assistant when you tried to schedule a meeting? Were you interested in the gatekeeper, or the only thing you had in your mind was actually only to schedule the meeting? The more interesting and unique you will be, the more you'll get the attention from the other person. The more you give sincere attention to the gatekeeper who helps you to schedule a meeting with this person and be interested in them, the more chance you will get an opportunity to meet the busy person. Strategy number 5, be understanding. Remember, the other person is very busy, right? So don't ask for a big commitment of time from her. Make the smallest request you can. Put them at ease with your request. So for example, ask them to take a look, not to make a commitment that will help them to say yes to you faster. Strategy number 6, be prepared and well in advance. What do I mean here? Use all your time needed to learn more information on the person you are trying to reach before making any attempt to or sending any request. Nowadays, you can find a lot of information online on who they are, what they like, and how they operate. Try to find common interest. It would help you build trust and easy connection with the other person. Not only should you do research before you reach out to a busy person, you should also try to get going on your project, your business, before you ask them for help. Remember, don't ever ask a busy person to pick the brain before you begin working on your own project or idea by yourself. You should not ask the busy person generic questions. Typical examples of the types of generic questions you should not ask include, I don't know how to get started with XYZ. What would you recommend I do? Don't do that. Don't ask like, do you think XYZ would apply to my situation? Or, I'm confused about XYZ and I'm not sure why I'm not getting it. Do you have any suggestions? These are two general questions. A better approach than this generic question is to explain 2 or 3 specific options you're considering and ask for specific feedback on this discrete choice. If there is a particular busy person you want to connect with, you should find out what groups or organization they are part of and see how can you add value to those groups. Perhaps you could join a committee they are on or offer to help with something they are passionate about. Good idea, right? Remember, being part of the same team can get your foot in the door, but you have to be ready when opportunity strikes. Strategy number 7, be creative. Create your own opportunities. My recommendation is always to find a way to meet the other person face to face. For example, learn where she will be in the coming weeks and try to join this event as well. Be unusual, be interesting, and use what you have learned about the other person to connect. This always worked for me and got me to connect to the other person immediately. And after that, it was very easy to schedule a follow-up meeting and continue our relationship building. Strategy number 8, be a person of value. When you offer something of value to the other person, even though they are busy, the chances of getting what you want become exponentially better. A lot of professionals struggle with how to find something of value to offer. But really the options are limitless. One of the best ways to provide value to a busy person is by helping them to promote their new project, their service, their product, the business, maybe the event. You can do this in a variety of ways. Maybe you could write an article and feature the busy person in it. Publish the article in a professional publication or even on your own blog or someone else's blog or on your social media. Offer to introduce the busy person to someone relevant, but be sure to ask first. Arrange for the busy person a solution to one of the needs. Maybe create a post on social media explaining why you love the particular person's work and share it with all your connection, etc., etc. See, opportunities are limitless, but the bottom line is find out what it is they need and who they want to connect with and make it happen. Meeting and networking with busy person involves creativity, respect for the other person and her needs, giving genuine attention, and sometimes being bold. Remember, busy people aren't selfish and inconsiderate, but they also want to be efficient with their own time. The time they give to you is time they sacrifice from working on their own businesses or spending time with their families, with their friends. So contact them in a way that respects this reality and springs on their schedule as lightly as possible. While the entire process may sound intimidating and overly complex, you shouldn't be intimidated. Like any other challenge, connecting with busy people is a skill that you can develop over time. And it's definitely worth the effort in order to grow your practice faster. Don't underestimate your value to someone else. So that's it for this week Q&A video. I trust I answered your question, James. A bit in length, but I hope you enjoy it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here. And if you can think of a different way to connect with busy people, I want to hear from you. Share it with me in the comments below. And if I can help you in any way implementing the strategies I shared in this video, please get in touch and let's see how can I help you. If you have any other question, of course, please comment below. I'll answer. I'll help you out. Again, thank you. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment, Tell other people about this video